Welcome, Deep Divers. Today, we're cutting through the noise to get right to the heart of AppNeta. We're drawing insights from the 250 578 exam practice questions and, their explanations. Our mission. To give you kind of strategic shortcut, we want to reveal not just what AppNeta does, but really why its way of managing network and application performance is so critical today. We've got a really interesting lens here. These practice questions, they aren't just technical drills. They give a practical sort of distilled view into how this platform actually works day to day. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how these questions really act as a practical guide. It moves us past just theory. They really spotlight the fundamentals, the bedrock concepts for reliable digital services.
Hmm.
Understanding them gives you a much clearer, more actionable picture of how businesses, well, how they ensure their apps and networks are working well. It's about smooth operations, happy users, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. And to really get AppNeta, we kind of have to start with its basic structure, its architecture. So imagine you're an IT leader, right? You've got this huge, sprawling global company. You need to keep resources separate for different units or customers, but still manage it all centrally. That's where this idea of an organization in AppNeta comes in. Question 2 in our sources really highlights this. Think of it like the top box, the main container for everything: users, monitoring points, configs. It's the foundation that lets it scale up and maintain control. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Exactly. And that structure, it's about more than just, keeping things tidy. It's what makes sophisticated multi-tenant setups possible. Think about service providers managing hundreds of clients or big companies splitting things by department. This structure gives you strict data isolation, custom access controls, but central IT still gets the big picture. It's honestly a massive advantage. It prevents total chaos when you're managing thousands of assets. You just couldn't do it with a flat structure.
Right. That really shows the strategic thinking behind it. Okay, so let's move on to what I think of as the three pillars of AppNeta monitoring. Delivery, experience, and usage. These aren't just features. They're like three different ways of looking at performance. Each one is critical. Let's kick off with delivery. AppNeta delivery, it's all about that core network path performance. Question 1 really points to this. It asks, what component mainly watches the network path, looks at things like latency, packet loss, jitter, and the answer is, naturally, AppNeta delivery. But maybe we can go a bit deeper. Beyond just connectivity checks, what does this delivery really uncover? It's like checking the actual roads your data travels on, not just seeing if a road exists.
Oh, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, delivery is just fundamental. It's the first domino. If that network path isn't healthy, high latency, packets dropping, lots of jitters, then every app using it is going to struggle. Doesn't matter how well the app itself is built. I remember this one client, they were just baffled by slow apps. AppNeta delivery, it quickly found their main office traffic was routing weirdly through a satellite office overseas. A simple misconfiguration. That huge latency just jumped out, saved them weeks, honestly. So monitoring this proactively, it stops those big application problems before they even start. It really nips disasters in the bud.
Wow, that's a great example of how powerful it can be. Okay, so from the network's health, let's pivot. Let's talk about the end user. That brings us to AppNeta Experience. Question 6 touches on this. Experience looks at application response times, but crucially, from the user's viewpoint, it's not just, is the server on, but is this app usable? Is it fast? And how does it do that? With synthetic monitoring, often using things like Selenium scripts, these scripts, they basically act like a real user logging in, clicking around, filling out forms, all automated all the time. So what does this all mean? It's clearly more than just uptime, right? Why is experience so vital?
Well, this raises an important question about what experience really delivers. You're spot on. It's way beyond simple uptime. An app can be technically up, sure, but practically down if it's super slow or full of errors for the user. AppNeta Experience bridges that gap. It runs these synthetic transactions, simulating what users actually do from different places. If your app is online but takes, say, 10 seconds to load a key page, that directly impacts productivity, customer satisfaction, maybe even sales. Experience finds those subtle performance issues, the ones that really hurt the business but might be missed by just looking at servers. It lets you fix things before users start complaining.
Perfect. Okay, pillar number 3, AppNeta usage. Question 7 and 9 point us here. This is all about network traffic analysis, its main job, giving you visibility into how your network is actually being used, what types of traffic, who's using the bandwidth, flow analysis. It's not just raw data, it's understanding bandwidth consumption, which apps are hogs, which users are departments. Super useful for optimizing resources. And the sources bring up a common issue. What if you have a custom business app that AppNeta doesn't recognize out of the box? Well, the fix is pretty neat. You just create a custom application definition inside usage. That ensures traffic from any app, even niche ones, gets classified and monitored correctly. Its impact is understood.
Exactly. And connecting usage to, practical uses, its data is gold for strategic decisions. Capacity planning, for instance. You can accurately predict future bandwidth needs based on real trends. No more guessing and overspending, or worse, running out of capacity. It's also great for spotting, let's say, non-business traffic hogging bandwidth, helps you reclaim resources, and crucially, it makes sure your critical business apps always get the bandwidth they need. It's really about smart resource allocation, turning raw network data into actual business intelligence.
Okay, we have the 3 pillars down. Now let's talk tools and troubleshooting. How does AppNeta actually do all this monitoring? Let's start with the eyes and ears, the monitoring points. Question 4 brings up virtual monitoring points, or VMPs. These are, well, kind of game changers. They're entirely software. They run as virtual probes in environments like VMware or Hyper-V. What does that mean? You can deploy them super fast like any other VM, no waiting for hardware. You get all the same monitoring power, but with way more speed and flexibility.
Yeah, the agility of VMPs, it's a really big deal, especially now. With dynamic cloud setups and virtualization everywhere, infrastructure scales up and down so fast, being able to deploy these software probes almost instantly, that's key. It lets you extend monitoring coverage immediately, new environments, temporary projects, whatever. You ensure that even the fast-changing parts of your IT setup stay monitored, no blind spots.
Agile deployment is great, but let's be real, things break.
Right.
What happens then? Let's look at troubleshooting. Question 3 gives us a scenario. A network path fails in AppNeta. What's a common, maybe easily missed first check, our sources say? Verify the required firewall ports are open. Why? Well, path monitoring needs specific ports open to talk back and forth. If they're blocked, the tests just fail. You might get misleading results, think something complex is broken when it's just a firewall rule. It's like checking the power cord first, isn't it?
It absolutely is such an important basic check. Classic example of starting simple. I can't tell you how many times I've seen teams dive into complex routing, deep packet analysis, only to find out hours later it was just a firewall rule blocking a necessary port. It's quick, it's easy, and it can save you so much time and headache. Always check those fundamentals first. It's just efficient problem solving. Avoids chasing ghosts.
Okay, so monitoring points are deployed, connectivity is good. How do you stay on top of it all? Make sense of the data? That leads us to alerts and dashboards. Question 8 mentions setting up an alert profile. This isn't just about one-off alerts. It's about grouping rules, thresholds, notifications, and applying them consistently. Sort of like standardizing your alarm system, making sure the right people get the right message the right way at the right time. And then, for seeing the data, question 5 talks about creating custom dashboards. Use the dashboard builder. Pull in widgets for delivery, usage, experience, maybe flow view data too. That's for detailed flow analysis. Build your own single screen showing exactly what you need to see.
You've really hit on a key synergy there. Alerts and dashboards, they're like two sides of the same coin for proactive management. Alerts, they're your immediate flags. Hey, look at this. Cuts through the noise. Dashboards, they give you the context, the real-time picture, the historical trends, everything you need to make smart decisions. Together, they let teams move beyond just reacting. They help you understand root causes, maybe even predict future issues. It's about shifting from firefighting to being proactively resilient. A big difference between knowing there's a problem and understanding its full scope and impact.
We've talked a lot about cloud and virtual stuff, but what about places running everything on-prem? AppNeta handles that too, right? With some specific things to consider. Question 10 mentions maintenance access for the on-prem solution. What's that about? Basically, it's a secure, encrypted way for Broadcom support AppNeta's creators to do maintenance and updates on your on-prem system. It's how they help keep your system running well, keep it secure, up to date, even in those tightly controlled environments.
Yeah, that point really underlines how crucial secure access is for on-prem setups. Unlike the cloud, where updates can be pretty seamless, on-prem needs a managed, secure way to handle upkeep. This maintenance access ensures the system stays healthy, gets timely support, gets updates, all without messing with the organization's security or compliance rules. It's like a secure lifeline for system health when data location and network security are paramount. Shows AppNeta's flexibility, really.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope you'll keep exploring these ideas and connecting the dots in your own tech world. Until next time, keep learning.